Hello guys, and guess what time it is? It's spooky story time. So we've got Halloween coming up soon. I know you have seen my banner in the back of my videos lately, but now it's time to read Halloween books. So this week and next week we'll be listening to Halloween books to get us ready for Halloween, okay? So my first book today is 10 Busy Brooms, and this one's by Carol Gerber and illustrated by Michael Fleming. 10 Busy Brooms. Ready? All right, here we go. 10 Busy Brooms. One little witch on a long, speedy broom saw another sweeping webs from a dusty tomb. "Come fly with me," she called. "I've got lots of room." Two little witches spied a third on the run. Chasing behind was a scrawny skeleton. "Jump on now," they shouted. "He's a sneaky one." Three little witches, zooming through the night, saw a ghost haunt a witch as she jumped in fright. "Come with us," they hollered, "and grab on tight." Four little witches heard a fifth cry, "Oh, that big greedy goblin wants my apple brew." "Hop on quick," called the witches. "Bring your brew pot too." Five little witches, slurping supper in the sky, saw a mummy snatch another witch's pumpkin pie. "Ride with us," they yelled. "It's safer way up high." Six little witches watched a werewolf prowl. He leaped towards the seventh and let out a howl. "Pick me up," she begged. "His breath is really foul." Foul means stinky. It's very pew. Seven little witches, bobbing past a bog, saw a sneaky snake slither near a witch and a frog. "Rise and shine," they called. "We'll lift you off that log." Now we have eight little witches. They saw a big scary bat swoop towards a witch and her tiny white cat. "Raise your broom," they screeched. "We'll lift you with that." Nine little witches felt the broom dropping low. First it wibbled, then it wobbled, then it fell. Oh no! Near a witch who was eating candy, who said, "Hello." "You look so real," she cried. "Your costumes are sweet." "We are real," they replied, scrambling to their feet. Then 10 little witches took off down the street, giggling together and shouting, "Trick or treat!" And that is the end of 10 Busy Brooms. Wasn't it busy with 10 witches? A whole 10! So now we're going to read a book that is called Scaredy Cat Splat by Rob Scott. Ready? Scaredy Cat Splat. If I can turn the pages. My goodness. Okay. "Mom!" cried Splat. "There's a scary spider on my jack-o'-lantern. He's small and hairy with really funny eyes." Splat's voice started to wobble with worry. "But you're small and hairy with really funny eyes," said his mom. "Ooh, Ma." He says. Splat thought for a moment. "But I haven't got 8 legs," he replied. "Maybe if you had, you'd be scary too," teased his mom. Splat made a scary spider face. Yarr! Splat's mom caught the spider under a glass jar. Splat looked closely at the spider. It didn't look so scary now that it was trapped. fact, it looks scared, doesn't it? Can I take the spider to school for Halloween? Asked Splat. We've all made jack-o'-lanterns and everyone's dressing up in costumes, and Mrs. Wimpy Dimple is going to tell a ghost story, and there's a prize for the scariest cat, and I want to be the scariest cat. So please, can I take the spider to school, please? He added. Okay, said his mom. Where's your Halloween costume? Asked his mom. Splat pulled a broom from the closet and sat astride it. Aha! Look at me! I'm a scary witch's cat, cried Splat, racing around the kitchen. You certainly are scary, said his mom. But then disaster struck. Splat tripped over his tail, and with a crack, the broom handle snapped in two. Now I've got nothing to wear, Splat groaned. Even Seymour couldn't console him. Splat's mom had an idea. She stuffed some old socks with scrunched up newspaper and tied them to Splat with string. There, she said. Splat looked in the mirror and jumped back with a squeal. Oh, I scared myself, he said. He looked again, and this time he smiled. Look at me, he cried, waving his sock legs. I'm a big, scary sock spider. Woo! Splat placed his jack-o'-lantern and spider on his wagon and set off to school. On the way, he met Spike dressed as a mummy and Plank dressed as a skeleton. I'm pretty scary, said Splat. Seymour nodded and trembled a little. I'm scarier. Hold on. Sorry. Page is stuck. Yeah, Splat had said they're pretty scary. He said, but I'm scarier, said Splat. Splat made his scariest spider face and growled, grrr. Spike and Plank didn't even blink. Instead, boo, cried Spike. Boo, cried Plank. Splat yelped and jumped high in the air, and landed in a heap. Aw, Splat sighed. Spike and Plank are both scarier than me. Seymour nodded and trembled a little bit more. I'll never win the prize for scariest cat, said Splat. The sock spider, the skeleton, and the mummy continued on their way to school. See up there, it says cat school. In class, everyone showed their jack-o'-lanterns. Look at everybody's different face. They all have a different face. Splat's jack-o'-lantern made everybody laugh. Aw, Splat sighed. I'll never win the prize for scariest cat. Seymour shook his head. Now, everyone placed flashlights in their jack-o'-lanterns, and Mrs. Wimpy Dimple turned down the lights and whispered in her best ghost story voice. In the dark, dark wood, there's a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there's a dark, dark room. In the dark, dark room, there's a dark, dark box. And in the dark, dark box, there's a ghost! Miss Wimpy Dimple cried, and the class screamed in fright. Ah! Splat was so startled, his tail whipped around and sent his jack-o'-lantern spinning through the air, and what goes up must come down. Splat! Unable to see anything, Splat stumbled around the classroom. Woo! Everyone shrieked as the pumpkin head glared at them and made strange woo noises. Woo! Mrs. Wimpy Dimple turned on the lights and lifted up the wayward jack-o'-lantern. And she had said, the shrieking turned to laughter as Splat fell out. Calm down, hushed Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Now, class, who should win the prize for being the scariest cat? Splat! They all cheered. Looks like the jack-o'-lantern did it for him. Now that we're done with Scaredy Cat Splat, it's time for another spooky book. This one is Snowmen at Halloween. And this one's by Carolyn Booner and pictures by Mark Booner. Snowmen at Halloween. I bet this story is set somewhere where it's chilly on Halloween and has snow. Maybe up north. Maybe in a place like Colorado. Who knows where it might snow on Halloween? Well, one autumn day, the air turned cold and it began to snow. We went outside and made some snowmen standing in a row. My sister had a box of dress-ups out for Halloween, and soon those snowmen were the scariest we've ever seen. We went off to a party and trick-or-treating too, then headed home in the dark when everything was through. As we passed our snowmen, I thought I saw one wink. Did they want to have fun too? Well, this is what I think. It's a dark and spooky night, but the snowmen aren't afraid. They'll follow one another in a Halloween parade. Gliding down the moonlit streets to the village, into the village square, beckoned by the twinkling lights and lanterns beginning there. They look like they're having a blast, don't they? They'll see lots of orange pumpkins heaped up in a pile. Every snowman gets to carve a very scary smile. Do you like to carve pumpkins? I sure do. I can't wait until it's time to carve mine. They'll like playing all the games and fishing for a prize and have their faces painted by an artist in disguise. Some bite into caramel apples, which give them gooey grins. Others bob for apples and apple bobbing bins. Oh yeah, they're doing a lot of fun Halloween things. For a coin, the fortune teller sees a snowman's fate. Will it be warm sun or snowstorms they'll anticipate? Anticipate means to look forward to. Maybe they will wander through a maze made out of hay. Twisting turns and dead ends make it fun to find the way. Have you ever been to a maze? I want to go to one sometime. I know we've got one close by. I think it's at McLeod Farms. Someone will be telling tales about a snowman ghost. And I'll bet spooky stories is what snowmen like most. If their Halloween's like mine, they'll want to trick or treat. And head home with their buckets full of every kind of sweet. There'll be a lot of giggling on their way back home. And it'll take a while before on their way back home from town. And it'll take a while before those snowmen settle down. Just like us, huh? I used to not be able to sleep. That's what I thought they'd do, but I guess I'll never know, because it warmed up overnight and melted down the snow. The dress-ups are in piles, but there's something in between, a snowman message just for us. Happy Halloween! And that is the end of Snowmen at Halloween. So I have one more book for you so we can hopefully be a little closer to your 20-minute goal for reading tonight. So this last one here is Monsters Love Underpants. Have you ever read this series before? Because dinosaurs like underpants and aliens like underpants. Well, let's read about the monsters. And this book is by Claire Friedman and Ben Court. Ready? Here we go. Look at all those different underpants. Monsters Love Underpants. Monsters think it's monster fun to creep around all scary, but there's something they love even more than looking mean and hairy. Monsters love underpants and think pants are fantastic. They like all patterns, shapes, and styles and twanging pants elastic. Some prowl through dingy dungeons. Ooh, you hear them howling loudly. Creak. One finds a squeaky armor pants and clanks around so proudly. Clank, clank, clink, clank. My heavens, I have the hardest time. Okay. Drool monsters from the steamy swamp fill pants with gooey slime. But whoops, their pants get slippery and slide down all the time. Whoa, monster, no, no. No, no. Wild, woolly mountain monsters make explorers faint with fright. They snatch their frozen pants, then run off in the night. All right, let's see. At the bottom of the ocean, a pirate ship now rests, where sea monsters wear pants with jewels they've pinched from treasure chests. They've got some jeweled up underpants. Now we have to turn it this way to see this one. The spiky, spooky space monsters all wave and roar, hooray! When out from blackest, deepest space, bright bloomers float their way. Bloomers is another word for underpants. It's not the... Uh-oh, that book has a tear. Uh-oh, it's not the sand inside his pants that makes this monster twitchy. His underpants are way too small. I wish they weren't so itchy. Oh, come on. It's Saturday. They're disco night. They wear pants bold and brave. The password shh is wobbly pants to get inside the cave. The monsters show their pants off as they dance the monster bop. Their pants-clad bottoms jig and jive till someone yells out, "Stop!" It's almost daylight. Quick, back home. We can't risk being spotted, for no one will be scared of us in pants all striped and dotted. So, if you hear strange scuffles from beneath your bed, beware. You might just catch a monster trying on your snazzy pair. Look at him, he's sneaking underwear. That's a sneaky little monster. And that is the end, my friends. So I hope you enjoyed my Halloween stories, and I can't wait to see you next time for more spooky stories when it's actually the week of Halloween. I'm excited, are you? All right, well, it's time to calm down and go brush your teeth, put on your PJs, and snuggle on up into bed. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.